My name's June Townsend. I'm 92. I was born in Brighton, 1925. I was brought up by Ivy, my sister-in-law. I went to Stoke Park when I was 10. The lady that took me there said she'd come back and let me tomorrow.
We think it was her mother that dropped her to the hospital, saying that she would fetch her tomorrow. Tomorrow never come.
They didn't come back. I cried. I lived there for 62 years.
Mum passed away when she was around about 15 years of age, and she spent all of her adult years then in the Stoke Park colliery on various different wards.
Stoke Park, where I hate to be. No more dirty caps on.
I first met June Townsend in 1977 when I was a student nurse being trained at Stoke Park Hospital. At that time she was living in a ward of about 30 people of all sorts of abilities, being supported usually by 3 or 4 people per shift. So you can imagine there wasn't a lot of scope for individualised care in those days, individualised support.
Life in the hospitals then was pretty up and down. Wards were high numbers.
People living in large dormitories, absolutely no privacy, and also a very boring sort of life in very isolated, insular sort of communities with not much opportunity for people to get out and about.
Stoke Park Hospital was mainly ladies, whereas down below in Purdown Hospital, that was all men.
I had a lot of friends at Stoke Park.
She used to like to go and have cups of tea down in the cabbage patch, and talks of many tales of the wards at the time and the staff that looked after them.
She had good friends. She had one friend in particular, Hetty Vinson, who used to help her mobilise.
I met Etty when I was at the Elms. She's blind. She had no eyes. I had to guide her. She taught me to walk all over the wards and the grounds. I was her eyes and she was my legs. I stopped walking when Etty died.
Not a lot of choices were possible in that sort of institutional setting. Things like meals, for example, were prepared centrally, but it wasn't like the people who lived there actually came up with options.
I didn't like Rachel much. She was okay sometimes. She went round with her finger to see if the work was done properly.
She remembered the unkind staff, and she remembered the good staff. And if I mentioned any name to her, she said, "Oh yes, that one." Or if I mentioned, "Oh, Mrs. So-and-so, she was nice, she was kind."
On the staff board, I didn't like it. They changed his clothes on a Saturday. Didn't have no more than next Saturday. Never used to have baths every day, only once a week. They used to put them in the same water. When one got out, the other one got in.
I know of 3 staff who actually were found guilty of ill-treating patients, and they were reported by other staff, which makes a big difference. It meant that the staff alone would not tolerate that sort of behaviour, and they were sent to prison.
The abuses that happened in the hospitals were allowed to happen because those people were segregated, separate, seen as less than people.
I lived quite near Stoke Park when I was growing up, and like Stoke Park, you think, oh my God, you know, but as I said, I started working there in 1985, and you know, it was fine.
There were some advantages to the point that everything was contained within the large hospital grounds.
Different things was going on, entertainers coming in, music. June really enjoyed going down to the entertainment.
June was able to visit other wards. She was able to go to the occupational therapy department where she used to help make things, and she had some freedom of movement.
I used to take myself out on the hospital grounds and I had a freedom.
They used to have like a fete every year up at Stoke Park, and they used to be like nominated to be May Queen, so they'd go up on the float and she used to say, oh, I used to be May Queen, Ali, and tell you things about like the fete day and that.
She'll have happy memories of Stoke Park, I'm sure she has. There would have been some good moments there, but equally some not so good.
People were beginning to understand, especially in the light of several abuses, that it was wrong for people with disabilities or people with poor mental health to live in long-stay hospitals, away from their natural communities, away from relatives, and to be denied opportunities to live an ordinary life.
The cost to society in marginalising people, in having people who are able to contribute to society ostracised and segregated, I think was horrific.
The government of the day decided enough's enough, we need to sort of close these places down and actually get them living in a community setting, effectively out of an institution into as normal life as possible.
I cried when I come away.
Milestones Trust was set up to provide support to the people who were living then in the long-stay hospitals, so that was primarily people with learning disabilities. We were set up as one of a number of trusts in the Bristol area to support the hospital closure programme.
We support those with learning disabilities at various levels, people with mental health needs and people with dementia.
And those people are supported in quite a range of services.
What I find upsetting is bar her very sort of minor disability, her mind is sharp as a razor. So it upsets me to think that actually from those years back to have someone like June in an institution, I think is incredibly sad.
Do you want the crust or do you want to have curly hair?
What? No, no longer.
She'll have the crust off, Linda.
She moved into Bath Road in 1997. Would have been a very emotional time for June.
June understandably was anxious when she did move from Stoke Park Hospital to Bath Road. It was the only thing that she knew. She lived there for 60 years.
She would have had many of her friends and close friends that she would have grown up alongside of, and that security of knowing really where she is.
June, don't cry, sweetie.
To move from that into your own home in an area where you don't know anyone, where you're not able to go out kind of without staff support, where you don't know whether you're going to be able to make friends and meet people, it must have been absolutely terrifying.
You're going to be fine, darling. Come on.
Oh, let's get the kettle on. June needs a cup of tea.
My friend Iris moved here with me. She passed away. Good coming out.
It must have been a big change for her because in a unit with 60 odd residents and then coming to a unit with only 6. She must have been bemused by it, so many people trying to help.
I think June found it strange, but I think she found it exciting in a way, for she can do so much more, so everything was personalised.
It would have been different, her lifestyle with moving here. Though she would have had the support staff to help enable her to access that community, it would have been life enriching for her.
Wow, it's a beautiful day, June.
Just being able to go out and do shopping in a local area and be part of a local community was one of the big benefits for June.
Hi Tracy, we got June to see
Hello,
you.
June. Nice to see you.
When I came here, I made new friends.
Lovely. You come for tea and cake?
June has a very mild learning disability and she has cerebral palsy.
There we are, ladies.
She is intelligent, she is funny.
She's got a massive character, she's so knowledgeable.
She enjoys banter.
Have you had a busy day today, June?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Nothing.
So she's a bit of a comedian, really.
She likes to know about your family, your children.
It's nice to know if you're going on holiday, where you're going, and when you've come back, or what did you get up to on your holidays, Ali?
You on holiday?
Next week.
Oh, bugger.
She's just a very likeable, lovable, warm, engaging lady.
Oh, lovely. That's a nice cup of tea, June.
I like all the staff here. I really like Annie, because I knew Annie before she came out here.
You look well.
Feel better today.
First time I met June was back in 1985 when I started in the hospitals, and everybody liked June. She used to go out and about with her friend Iris.
Being here at 46 Bath Road, I think is a good thing for June because she have more one-to-one contact with people. I don't think they had carers that spend the amount of time that we are able to at Bath Road with them. June, we can't stop in Aldi's today.
Ultimately, the job has to be with the frontline support worker. My job is to try and give that person every possible support, every possible encouragement, so that we support the staff to do the best job they can.
Milestones Trust is really good at providing appropriate training on things like person-centeredness, communication. So I think staff are better equipped than they used to be for supporting people, especially those with complex needs.
Do your nails after, if you want, before we go off gallivanting. Right,
Morning, Coon.
Morning, all right?
Everybody okay?
Yeah, fine. Is it raining?
It's still raining, yes. I didn't get too wet though. Yeah. How are you this morning?
June and Bob have been friends pretty much most of their lives.
18 when we first met it was, wasn't it? Do you realise that's nearly 60 years ago, June?
Bob was a staff nurse at Stoke Park Hospital, and with June living there for many years, they have gained a very good friendship.
She moved into 46 Bath Road at the time I retired. And one of the League of Friends said to me, "You're just the person we need. They need someone like you who understands the residents there and can interact with them." We're getting ready to go, Alison. Thank you.
I'll have a raincoat on, Bob.
Ali Pally, is that right? Ali Pally B.
I like Bob. He's all right. He chats a lot.
She's cheeky nice, is the best way to describe June, I think. I haven't got anything to keep my head dry. I should get my hair wet.
You ain't got no hair.
I haven't got any. Oh, that's not very nice, is it? I should go home and cry myself to sleep.
He comes out and takes me to church.
If there was any church function on, like a church fair, a choir singing from somewhere, June always came to that, and I was the one who brought her. There we are. Okay there?
Yeah.
They always invite June to everything because June is very good at conversing with others.
I like going to coffee morning with Bob and church. See all my friends.
Here at Bath Road, family connections have very much been implemented via the carers here since June has lived here.
I got a nephew, Philip. He lives in Brighton. I speak to him regularly. Hello.
Hello, Judy. How are you?
How are you?
Phil is in contact virtually every couple of weeks. He rings. If not, I encourage June to ring him.
What are you doing?
I'm cooking the dinner at the moment, June.
It wouldn't have been encouraged back in the days of Stoke Park. People were put away into the collieries, and it was not encouraged to keep that family contact. It would have been cut off.
Those days it was get them as far away from home as possible, out of sight, out of mind. It happened to nearly everybody. So few were local, if any. his story is that they knew this girl, they didn't know her name, they knew this girl was about, and suddenly she disappeared, and her mother wouldn't say anything about it, and they often wondered where she was.
We've done weekend stayaways for her, she's had regular holidays, so the bonds are there.
The nice thing about it is her nephew comes to see her Christmas morning, all the way from Brighton, and goes back to have his Christmas dinner about 3 o'clock. And I think it's commendable on his part that once he was traced, he made no hesitation in contacting June just to see this stranger who didn't exist for many years, suddenly reappeared.
Bye, Philip.
Oh, June.
Certainly I think now, because people are living in local communities, they have a very visible presence and they're made to feel quite welcome.
I think the fact that they are no longer behind the wall is vital to community and community living.
Morning, Derek. Morning, June. All right, darling? Bob knocking the stuff over again.
There's no sort of crossing over the road to get away from her or anything like that, which there might have been many, many years ago. Probably there was.
I think it makes us a better society. It allows us to be more generous of heart and less self-centred, because there are people there who've got greater needs.
The mark of a society is how well it treats those who are the most potentially vulnerable. She absolutely enriches the lives of those around her just by being who she is.
Helen, that works in the estate agents down the road, always comes out and says hello to June on a Friday.
Helen.
Well, there's my friend June.
I like Helen. When I go down to coffee morning, she comes out, talks to me.
Good morning, June. How are you? Are you all right?
Makes me feel very special.
It cheers her up. It doesn't cost anything, just 5-10 minutes. And just to say hello, and that thrills her to bits, lifts her up.
And you look lovely with this on. What have you got planned for today? Anything nice?
No.
Yeah, we're going to go out on the decking when we get back.
June was ill going back, I think it was around Christmas time, and obviously Helen wondered where she was, so she sent up some flowers and said, where's June? We've missed her today.
It was a gesture that meant June was part of the community, indeed part of their lives.
Bye then.
It is very important for June to feel that she's part of the community. I think if I stopped taking her out, she would withdraw. She'd be very depressed.
June, which one of these would you like to wear? This one or this one?
June very much loves to be choosing her own clothes. June likes to look nice.
Do you want to wear this one?
Yeah.
Okie doke. Last week she wasn't doing anything and she was a little bit down in the dumps really, and I said to her, oh June, would you like a pamper session? And she said yes.
You got your nail varnish, June? Want to choose some colours?
We did hand massage her nails, put on a little makeup, and she had such a broad smile. It was really nice. It really cheered and lifted her spirit.
Bit posh, aren't they? You're like a film star. Oh, perfect, June. Perfect. Go like that, let them dry. Go like that, let them dry.
That part of my job I really enjoy, doing things like that for the ladies. Right, we've got our first one, June. And this one, beautiful, look at that. Do you want to hold that?
Ooh, beautiful. That's a great way to use it.
June is a keen flower arranger. We normally go and get foliage. Oh, smell that, June.
Ooh,
amazing. And we just snip, snip, snip. Right, June, I think it's time we get on with doing our flowers. When she was a bit younger, she was able to do it just by instructions. But now that she's not seen so well, I would place my hand over her hand and direct her hand where she should put it. So she's still enjoying flower arranging today. Are you going to put it in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Everyone that comes in, she'll be telling them, oh, I did this, I done that. Come and look at this, Right, June, so what do you think of your flowers?
All right.
Yeah?
They're nice.
Yeah? You happy with it?
Yeah.
A lot of the work that's happened in the last kind of 20 or 30 years has been about addressing people's skills and strengths and gifts. So it's kind of making sure that people are seen for the whole person rather than just in the context of a health need.
We always have the handovers to let everyone know what's changed in the day, because lots of things do change day to day. And at times things are challenging, especially when June's not well. She's not one to tell you what's wrong, and if she's feeling a bit down, you have to work around to eventually find out what's causing it.
Yep. Let's go.
Right, let's go.
Hey, bye.
Do you fancy a drink down the pub?
Where?
Salford?
Yeah.
By coming into residential care in a community, June gets one-to-one attention, which she loves. Do you like beer?
Yeah, I do make me drunk.
Black shoes okay?
Yeah.
She gets personal care. She chooses what she wants to do and where she wants to go. She didn't have that choice in the hospital. I'll get you some money, get your purse.
People who live in our homes, they're not very well off people. However, I would definitely say that they're financially better off than they would have been 20 or 30 years ago.
She's got more control over the money that she does have. So whereas before activities would be planned, clothes would be bought for people, now those things are done with June and by June, so she has more control over the money that she does have.
We're going to discuss now what we're going to do this week, yeah, with the activities.
In the hospital, it's like there was big groups, so if she wanted to go out, there'd be like a load of them going out. But here, she might just take one or two of her friends from here with her.
You enjoy that, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
When we have like meetings with her, she will say, you know, I like going here, and she will tell you, you know, her likes and her interests.
June, what would you like to do this week?
I'd like to go down and feed the ducks.
Go down and feed the ducks. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd really like that. Yeah, yeah.
Right, onto the van.
Right.
We want her to make choice that she's happy with. We'll find out things that's going on and ask her, would you like to do this?
I'm going to close the door now then, okay?
Yes, close the door.
You know, we don't just say, oh, I think June would like this, I think June would be going here or there. Always get her involved.
I think we've been here before, June, haven't we, by the river? One thing that is important is one-to-one time. We're going to Salford Weir this afternoon, which June's really looking forward to. There we go. How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Bit of sunshine. You ready for this?
Yes.
Good. Can you remember when we came here last time?
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. What size is that boat?
God, what a big boat.
You get a lot more out of June if it's one-to-one. She's not fighting for attention. And you can see the boats again, June.
You can have a ride on it.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
June is a person, if she doesn't want to do anything, she will say.
Can you see the boat over there, look? Coming out through there,
yeah,
look.
yeah.
Yeah? I'm sure they'll wave out to you in a minute.
Give me a ride on a boat.
She definitely is empowered to make her choice.
Enjoying it?
Yeah.
Good, isn't it?
Whenever I go into June's home, I knock on the door, I go in, and there's always someone talking with one of the residents. You've got to talk to them. It's the normal thing to do.
Hold on tight.
To be a good support worker, you have to be a very good listener.
You need a bit of empathy. You need to understand that person too.
If you listen well, you're more able to attend to their needs. Right, is there anything else you think you'd need?
No, I don't think so.
Do you feel comfy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We don't feel sorry for people, because I don't think that's a great thing. But we try to understand. Put yourself in their position and treat them with respect. Really nice place to be, June.
You should be approachable. You should be cheerful, because sometimes you come into work and the client is a bit down.
Yeah, sometimes she will have a bad day, thinking, oh dear, what's the matter today? And she's feeling a bit low. But you know, normally she'll start laughing and joking by the end of the shift. So we think, oh, at least I've made her laugh today. And she's okay.
It's a fulfilling job. I just love what I do.
Right, I put this on you just to keep your legs warm.
We very much cater around June's independence, which she holds so dear to herself. She is involved in all elements of the home, whether it's the day-to-day activities of helping kind of provide and support people with lunch. She will lay the tables.
Got the cutlery. Here we are, June.
Being involved in sorting out her laundry, kind of making sure that she's involved in every aspect of her life as she can be.
No, no more. That's it now.
The ladies that have capacity are able to make their wishes known. Every Sunday, they're able to choose their meals. They each have a day so they can choose the lunch and the evening meal.
The food that June has now is cooked the same way as you and I cook our food at home. They are cooking for 6 residents. It's like a family. They buy the food from the supermarkets. It's not cooked in a huge kitchen like it was in the hospital, put into trolleys and taken to the ward and then kept hot. It is fresh food.
It's only within the last 18 months that June's eyesight is fading quite considerably, that we now support her with her moving and handling, and we help her around the home.
Yeah, a bit of fresh air. Hope it ain't raining out.
It's around making sure that services are able to flex and adapt as people's needs change. So we're not at a point where we're saying, well, your needs have changed, you now need to move.
There we go then.
Giving service users a greater voice is evolving all the time.
June is involved in interviewing new staff.
When I was interviewed by June asked me about my hobbies. She asked, oh, do you like gardening? Do you like going pictures and things like that? So I think it was right and fitting for her to be interviewing us because it's her we come to work for. All right?
Yeah.
We have a service user council, Voices for Choice, who meet regularly, made entirely of service users, chaired by service users. There is a facilitator who helps, and some of the work that they've done has had a real impact on the direction the organisation has taken.
The hospitals of many years ago served a purpose. It wasn't uncaring, but it was virtually custodial care. They were washed, fed and kept clean.
Everybody that I've known who have moved out of a long stay hospital have lived a far more purposeful and happier life than when they lived in a long stay institution.
What I'm delighted to see is that in those years since, she has begun to enjoy her independence and the community she now lives in.
We're not at the point yet for people in June's situation where they have complete control over their lives, but we are some way down that road.
I think we all work for the same aim, that it's basically we want the ladies to have the best care and lifestyle we can provide.
Lasting memories to reflect back on June for years to come will be her smile, her twinkle in her eye, her good nature and her humour.
I don't know anyone that is not really blown away by June.
Are you a little bit cheeky?
Oh God, yeah. Aren't you?
I've done it for years.
You are cheeky, aren't you?
I'm happy here. The future is all right.